Hey team, you're watching Harden Sneakz and I've got Brooklyn here joining us for another near miss or near misses for the month of February. Now I've curated 10 different sneakers for us to talk about. There's a lot of talkability and a lot of different things going on, but let's see, are they a near miss or near misses and how many Purple Heart rankings are they getting? All right, starting off with our first pair, which is the Nike Foamposite Pro in the University Blue colorway.
University Blue has always got a tick, but the Foamposite's such an ugly shoe.
What are you talking about? That's lovely.
That one doesn't look too bad, but that one looks like you're walking on jelly.
It's a great shoe.
Okay, maybe in person it'll look better, but that picture looks... That looks like the Temu version of this.
See, I completely disagree. I think that looks great. That's the pair that we saw in Shanghai. Remember the one I was like, I want that pair? And then they're like, we don't do your size.
Oh no.
like, are you size 8? No, I'm not. Okay, I'll walk out of the store then. I actually got a message from my dad who was watching the February release video and he was like, hey, if you see that shoe, can you get me one? And I'm like, okay. So I think they're a really cool shoe. So not much to say outside of the shoe. You like...
Looks like jelly, but looks like the Temu version of this one. Like they were trying to be this, but they weren't.
All right, moving on to this next pair, and we have a collaboration between Nike on the Air Force model with LeBron James in the LA colorway.
So is it kind of like LeBron's and Air Force had a baby and created this one?
A little bit. So if you look at the bottom of the shoe, you see it kind of like little kind of like cuts and divots. That is kind of like meant to sort of follow the shape. So remember in the last near miss or near misses video, you had the LeBron 23 Honor Society, and it kind of had those shapes that kind of curve to the shoe. It's kind of taking inspiration by that. So it is a Nike Air Force, but the base of the shoe has those cuts and look like a 23.
I think if the cuts, the white part was like one of the green parts of the shoe, so if, even if it was like a dark green, it would look sick. The white part just looks a bit jarring.
So I don't actually think it's a white. It looks more to be like a translucent from images they released online.
Okay.
So translucent, geez, I'm referring to the shoe way too much. I'm glad I put it up here. Translucent is this. It's the semi-see-through rubber outsole material.
Gotcha.
So that's what that's meant to be.
If it is like that, then it'll be a higher rating, but at the moment, I'm basing it on what I see. It looks white. So if you're buying it thinking it's white.
No, you can see it, see-through.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, moving on to our next pair, and it's the Kobe 6 3D Hollywood.
I don't like these. Nope, I don't even want to look at it. It's not heebie-jeebies.
It's blurry.
But it's a bit much. It's a bit loud.
So there's something really cool about the shoe. It is inspired by 3D film and cinema, and one side of the shoe is themed red, one side is blue, and then the print on the top, which would normally be, do I have a...
Is it West Side Story?
It's not West Side Story. Hold up.
Oh.
Okay, so here is the...
I'm not even gonna look at it.
So here is the Kobe 6 Total Orange.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you knew I had. So look at the shoe.
I actually can't, or make me gay.
Look at the shoe.
No!
And then look at the shoe. So this is meant to resemble...
I don't like it.
This is meant to...
Much. I can visualize. No, I don't want to visualize it.
Great, we feel it.
No, I don't like it.
So it's meant to
Can you talk about it down here? Yeah, better.
So it's meant to resemble a snakeskin upper, like snakeskin print.
You know me and snakes.
And the cool thing about this shoe is, unlike other traditional Kobe 6s, is they've printed the patterns kind of off-centered, so when you use 3D glasses, it looks 3D.
That's even worse. I hate snakes. I hate heebie-jeebies. No, I don't know. That's hard. I don't even know. Hard pass.
All right, moving on to this next pair, and it's another pair of Nike Foamposites. This time it's inspired by / collaboration with the final season of Stranger Things.
Okay.
We've both not seen Stranger Things.
Don't hurt us.
So when we look at this shoe, we are looking at it as it's a shoe that's black with red lightning on it. I think that's quite cool, and actually I was always looking at the shoe when it came out, wishing it was like a Tekken shoe.
If you didn't tell me that, I probably would have been, is it inspired by Lightning McQueen?
Not everything that's red with lightning on it's Lightning McQueen. Have you seen the Lightning McQueen Crocs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want a pair.
Horrible.
I would wear them. I would so wear them. Put them in speed mode.
They would have been in sport mode, they'd be in sports car mode.
Sports car mode.
Anyway, back to the Foamposite. So there's sort of two ways they can do about Foamposites. They either go one direction and they have like a matte color and they're all the same colored shoe, or they do like a crazy print. And we've seen crazy prints. We've seen things that's like lava, we've seen things like camouflage.
Do you have a pair that's matte?
Matte?
I was going to say matte foam deposits and bring it back down again.
No, like, honestly, that shoe's had more screen time than the actual shoes they're talking about.
Yeah, it's not shining me.
I personally don't think they're very wearable when they have that pattern on them. It's cool. I mean, so as an adult, you're going to kind of ask the question about like, are you comfortable wearing lightning shoes? And
Would you?
probably. Moving on to our next pair, and we have one of the 3 pairs that released as part of the Jordan 3 collaboration with Levi. And this was released as part of the Super Bowl. That's why
Levi Stadium.
it is Levi Stadium. So they did a release as part of that collaboration. And those 3 pairs, what's cool about them, and there's a bit of a history and pedigree with how Jordan has done stuff with Levi's, where obviously they make jeans, they've changed in the uppers and some of the models, and they've used denim in the actual construction of the shoe.
So is this Sneakz to a new level?
It is kind of Sneakz to a new level. What you probably will like about the shoe, if you look at it, so this one is heavily inspired by the Jordan 3 black cements, the shoe I wore in China that you absolutely hated because you didn't like the elephant print. But they've replaced the elephant print and they've actually used denim in that panel instead. So how do you feel about that? Will they remove your fear of the heebie-jeebie?
Yeah, heebie-jeebies gone, thank goodness. Yeah.
So hard to impress.
I know.
The thing you didn't like about the pair, they made it wearable.
I prefer them.
All right, moving on to our next pair. And in our last video, we talked about Kevin Durant and his KD 18s, which is part of the Warning Label series. And there were actually 10 pairs that were released as part of this. And one of them is this pair here, which is Giannis's pair, the Nike Freak 7s. Giannis went all in on the theme. There is a thing about Nike in the color Volt, which is their most bright, vibrant, kind of like neon green color. So when you use that as a base color, and the Freak 7's already pretty wild, like you can see all the lines in it. And then you add like a gold gloss on top.
Is it a camo?
So look.
It kind of looks like your yellow ones you got from Shanghai.
So the one she's talking about there is my pair of the Nike GT Futures in the yellow colorway. That's fair, I see it. There's definitely some like hard lines in it. It's very vibrant. I still think this is even more loud than those.
Oh yeah.
Because on top of it, it's still metallic.
Because yeah, and it's multiple tones of loud colours.
And it comes still in the warning case, and it has the shoelace charm on this one is actually black wings, which I'm sort of assuming is to do with like warning of like health risk, because typically wings are used in the examples of like healthcare and like nursing and medical symbols on those, and then the inverted version that being a black wing is kind of like the negative of that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a loud pair.
It's a loud pair. I feel like this is very. What year was loud shoes like in?
Like early 2010s.
I think that's when this would have been cool. I think it's missed its mark.
So that is so cool to see. And that's like the value of having Brooklyn here as a non-sneakerhead. So the early 2010s was kind of like hyped as like the best time in basketball sneaker releases. And that was because Nike was being very innovative. This pair here, the Kobe what is from that era where they released really loud sneakers. And the thing that's really cool about that time is because people were wearing them on and off court, sneakers made a statement. And what's cool about that is we've had obviously a bit of a gap since then. Other shoes have come in. We've had the sort of streetwear, kind of runner shoe style fashion wave. Then you had the dad shoe vibe. And Nike is trying to relive and kind of capture that. And the big part about All-Star Weekend that a lot of sneakerheads love is these crazy themed releases.
So is Beige Baby out?
Beige Baby is out. Nike is bringing it back. And to bring it back to the early 2010s and bringing loud shoes. So hopefully you're going to start seeing more of those sort of shoes rocked on the daily. Moving on to our next pair, and this next pair is the Nike GT Cut 4, and it's aligned with the likes of Victor Wembanyama, another NBA player.
It's Mermaid.
Mermaid, I love that you've gone come up with Mermaid.
It's scaly, holographic.
It's very holographic.
Chrome.
It's probably the only one in the old 10 lineup of the Warning Label that's not got like one base color. One of my personal things I don't like about the shoe personally is the shoe is quite narrow and the materials I feel like are really going to crease and look really bad. Would you be surprised this is a guy's shoe?
No.
No?
No. Because it's the actual sole of the shoe is quite, I wouldn't say it's a feminine looking shoe. Sometimes you can tell that when it's made for women. Obviously it's unisex, right?
Yes, so it's a unisex shoe. The Nike GT series is the same series that my one that I got in China is from. So it's Nike's own individual performance basketball sneakers that aren't yet linked to a particular athlete, but many NBA athletes end up wearing it. It's kind of fronted this particular model more often by Victor Wembanyama, who's this hype prospect that kind of came into NBA, 7'6". So yeah, it's obviously meant to be used and played a lot and designed for people to kind of pick up and play more on court.
That's pretty cool. I wouldn't buy them, but they're pretty cool. Oh my god.
All right, moving on to our next pair, and we've had an Adidas in a while, but this one is the Adidas Harden Volume 10.
What's up with the futuristic shoes coming back? It just screams like, again, what people would imagine futuristic would be, but back in the 70s.
So it's interesting you kind of called that out, where Nike has kind of gone for, I guess, more of a kind of vibrant approach in bringing back that kind of good part of 2010s basketball sneakers. I think one of the things that Adidas has done quite well, because they are in competition with each other, is their basketball sneakers are looking very futuristic. They look like they're almost made out of like metal, or they're forged. This shoe myself, when I first saw images of it, it kind of to me looked like you had almost like a block of steel and you had a milling machine drill it down in layers. This is the shoe that I talked about in my February release video and said, wow, this shoe looks really menacing and tough. And then another image came out and it's covered in glitter.
I saw the video as well. It's like like a sheen to it.
Yeah, it was literally covered in glitter. So tough's probably not the right one, but I think the inspiration behind it is this is also releasing an All-Star weekend. So star shining, meant to be that sort of moment. But I do think it's very cool, and I think the cool kind of part about being...
Does it not have laces?
No, it does have laces. It's just kind of more
Stretchy. Like...
seamless, kind of like the kind of upper of it wraps around the neck.
So not like bow.
No, you just all tie it like a bow.
Oh, does look like it.
Too much glitter, not enough bow, apparently.
I don't mind the bow. But I like laceless shoes. Oh my god! What are those?
So this one is the Nike GT Futures in the copper egg colorway. And I've actually caught it really early on. I thought the GT Futures took a lot of inspiration from Foamposite. You can kind of see similarities of that. So this one has taken inspiration from the Nike Foamposite Coppers and the Nike Foamposite Eggplants. And they've had some sort of weird love child. And then that's where you get the copper egg. And the fact that they've actually called it the copper egg, they are leaning straight into that. It is interesting. It's the first Nike GT Future that we've actually seen that's had a metallic treatment. We've had grey, we've had orange, we've had yellow, we've had blue, and now we've got copper egg.
I think it looks like a woman's boot, like ankle boot.
Ankle boot? So you don't like the shape of it. That is my yellow shoe.
The ripple effect is very unusual. Again, adds to that futuristic look that I think they're trying to execute.
So in short, you think that it doesn't look very basketball performance-like?
I wouldn't say, like, if I was to see these scrolling on the internet and I saw these, I'd be like, oh, they're not basketball shoes. I would say they're an ankle boot.
Ankle boot?
Yeah,
okay.
Or like a woman's ankle boot. I'd say leather, but it doesn't look like leather.
Getting worse. All right, moving on to our next pair, and you've reviewed a few Jordan 5s on this channel already. This one is the Jordan 5 Wolf Greys. Now you're familiar with the Wolf Greys, you have the Wolf Grey 1 lows. But what do you think about this one? Does it kind of have similar Wolf Grey conventions and DNA?
It looks like a shark. You know what I mean? Shark bait. If you were to put like Bruce from Finding Nemo into a shoe, I'd design that. Like if you told me this was a collaboration with Bruce from Finding Nemo, I'd be like, I see it.
So I wanted to say not every Jordan 5 has looked like a shark, but I'm realizing she's referring to the shark teeth on the side of the shoe, and the fact that it's all grey arguably does make it more shark-like than we've seen in past releases, so there's probably some merit to that.
I've got the lows, not the highs, but yeah, I can see how they would blend. So
if you do look at conventions on the shoe, it does have grey, it does have the translucent outsole. I do feel it's missing a little bit of white. I feel like there's a lot of white on your shoe that's not kind of captured here.
I also think it kind of works with the shoe. It's a dark shoe, but I think all the colours actually kind of work. But because we're comparing it against the other shoe, if we weren't, it would be...
Yeah, I mean, we are comparing it a bit harsh, possibly. I mean, the thing I look at when I look at the shoe is the material works really well on the 5. Isn't a kind of suede pair. Suede white, it's not going to be very good long term. All right, this next pair is the Nike GT Future in the warning label colorway. So you've already covered a couple of the warning labels off already. This is the 4th one, and I think possibly the last one I want to talk to you about, which is actually on the GT Futures. And this one I think is quite wearable. I say wearable in the sense that if you to compare it to some of the other ones, well, it's either that or Volt Green with metallics or skull symbols and stuff. So yes, this one is meant to be of that pack. Again, we haven't seen metallic versions done in the GT Futures, and this month we've had 2 of them release. What are we feeling? What are we thinking?
I don't think it's wearable, but if you compare it against your other ones, it's probably the most wearable pair, which is kind of unusual because it's a white holographic futuristic looking shoe.
Now, one of the things I find kind of weird about the shoe is if you actually like, look at it, and I think my main gripe is that you've got the ones I showed you before, which was the Nike GT Cut 4s. They're both white and pearlescent.
What's the warning on this one?
The warning on this one is the actual symbol is kind of like barbed wire. They didn't release the barbed wire icon on this one straight away. Actually, originally they kind of released it and it was just showing the image of the shoe. So I was kind of like trying to speculate, and I'm actually working on a video right now where I talk to those different things. And my first prediction for that was actually, I thought they were going to talk about it being almost like you can see the shoe, it looks like it's pulling gravity towards it.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, maybe it's like a magnetic field warning, which is a common warning symbol we see, or something towards that. So barbed wire seems a little, I don't know.
Does it give Post Malone?
Because it's tattoo.
Yeah. No, I don't get it.
Neither do I. But I think it looks really cool, and I don't have a pair of pearlescent white shoes, so problem solved.
I would probably wear these if I was to dress up like a fairy. It's probably the only time I would ever wear a shoe like that.
It.
You're thinking about it. Great. Fairy outfit.
Okay, well that is our 10 shoes we're going to talk about today's video. Now we need to the important task, and that is understanding, are they a near miss or are they near misses, and what is the Purple Heart ranking for them? So the first pair, the University Blue Foamposite Pros.
I'm going to go for a near miss on this one because it's giving Temu version of these ones, and I really like these ones. But however, no hate on Temu, but it's just not for me. And so I'm going to go for 4 Purple Hearts.
See, I haven't actually rated this shoe yet, so if I were to put it on my sneaker rating wall, I would probably put this as 8.5 out of 10.
Huge.
What about the collaboration between Air Force One and LeBron James?
If it in person, if it's not so white on the bottom and it's more clear, I'm going to go for a near misses, and then I'm going to rate it 6 Purple Hearts.
Okay, I'm still feeling a little bit more generous on this one. For me, I'm probably going to go 7 out of 10 and put that on my sneaker rating wall. Next one we have is the Kobe 6 in the 3D All-Star. I won't traumatize you with the Kobe 6 anymore, but what is that getting out of 10?
I don't even have a rating. It's all the way over there.
So it's a 1.
Not even a 1. I don't think it's on the board.
You need a 1.
0. I mean, it's half a Purple Heart.
Okay, so it's 1 Purple Heart.
Half.
It's no half emoji.
Fine. No deal. No, if I had to choose, it's 1 Purple Heart. Near miss, it's a hard pass. No, any other way of saying no. Ugh.
Okay, so for me, from a storytelling point of view, I reckon it's quite clever and cool. Maybe neutral. I'm going to say probably 5.5 on my sneaker.
Heebie-jeebies?
I think that's part of the novelty of it. It's meant to have that storytelling and that upper.
Nope. Okay.
All right, what about the Foamposite Stranger Things collaboration?
I think I'd rate this higher if I'd watched the show, and maybe I need to watch it to appreciate them more, but because of that, I'm going to go for near miss, and I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay, you're actually more generous than I am. I think this is going to be a really hard pair to sell to an adult, because I'm not a Stranger Things fan, have never even seen the show. Please don't hate me in the comments for that. I'm probably going to say 4.5 on the sneaker ratings.
Oh, it's higher.
All right, we've only got one collaboration from the pack to talk about, and that is the black version of the Jordan 3 collaboration with Levi. What are we thinking on that one?
Sneens. Sneens are in? Question mark? Maybe?
Sneens are in.
Sneens.
Hashtag Sneens in.
Sneens in. A tooth issue. I'm probably going to go for, I think this one's going to be a near misses, but only just as well. I'm more towards like a neutral rating, so I'm going to give it a 5.5. Can I do a 5.5?
You can 5.5, you know?
5.5 Purple Hearts.
I haven't thought about how to rate this one because I kind of already have the black cement, so it's like buying the same shoe twice, which has never been a problem previously. I'm probably leave it 6 on the sneaker wall. All right, moving on to our Giannis shoe and the Nike Freak 7s on the warning label colorway.
Seeing it for the second time, I didn't like it less. Oops. So I'm going to go for a near miss on this one, and I'm probably going to give it a 4. The colorway is kind of funky, but I still can't quite get the color shoe hype just yet. Because I'm still stuck in that beige baby brain.
Okay, well, I'm not going to rate this. I actually rated this in another video, so stay tuned for that. But I will say it's not been my favorite in the lineup. I will say that. Moving on to our next part of the warning label, and that is the Nike GT Cut 4s. What are we thinking about this one?
Nemis, I think holographic can be a little bit tacky sometimes, unfortunately.
This is what you called a mermaid shoe before.
Mermaid shoe. So with that in mind, I'm gonna probably give this one a 3 purple heart rating.
3 purple hearts, okay. Yeah. All right, Adidas Harden Volume 10 in the All-Star colorway.
It's not awful. I think I can't quite figure out the futuristic part of things, and so I'm gonna go for a near miss, 3 purple hearts.
Now, this depends for me when I actually saw the shoe. I probably would have gone maybe as high as an 8 until I saw the glitter on it. Now I'm feeling really change it harder. The glitter does bring it down for me, so I'm probably going to lean towards I like the silhouette. So I am holding out for a good Harden Volume 10 silhouette that I really like. So for me, probably going a 6 out of 10 on the sneaker for me. Okay, GT Future in the Copper Egg.
I don't know. I'm more leaning towards no, but there is something like funky and fresh about it at the same time.
And the fusion part is quite novel.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like screams futuristic with the silver metallic, and even as a metallic shoe, it doesn't scream that at me. So I might go still a near miss. I'm gonna give it a 5 purple hearts.
5 purple hearts. There's a lot I like about the kind of fusion and combination that's going on here. I do love the model of the GT Futures in general, so I'm probably going to go a little bit higher, but I also feel like I don't know when I necessarily wear a shoe like this in terms of everyday. That's probably why I'm leaning. No, maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Let's go 7 out of 10 for my rating on this one.
Whoa, higher than I thought.
I know, it's a bit of a roller coaster, that one, right?
Yeah, I was like,
we started here, we've done here.
Wow, 7, okay.
All right, Jordan 5, your shark bait hoo-ha shoes. It's the Wolf Greys. What are we feeling on these?
Yeah, it's giving Bruce from Finding Nemo. So because of that, I want to get rid of near misses.
Oh.
Yeah, because we love Bruce. And I'm going to go for 7 purple hearts.
7 purple hearts. I think I would go... I think grey's a tough colour, like genuinely, and I have talked about this recently with some other grey shoes that have come out, like the cool grey ones. It's hard to make that shoe look good. I think the 5s have done quite a good job. Yeah, I'll meet you in the middle, I'll match you. Yeah, I'll go 7 on the sneaker rating for me as well. All right, and our final pair is the Nike GT Future in the warning label colorway. I will hold my rating on this because I am doing a whole warning label video, but I do want to know yours, and I will have to accept the fact that I did talk to this before you called them fairy shoes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for the fairy look, absolutely, but I'm not going for the fairy look, so I'm going to go for a miss, and I'm going to give it 3.5.
3.5. That's not a high rating.
No, it's not.
Okay, well that is all of our ratings put together for this edition of Near Miss or Near Misses. This is a new format for us, guys. Please give us some feedback about it and be nice, because obviously Brooklyn is volunteering her time as a non-sneakerhead. But it has been fun to talk about this. We're looking forward to some of the releases we can talk about in March. So if you have any suggestion for March sneakers, also feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Until then, feel free to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for some of the videos, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.